25. Do I have a ring? Probably have a ring, right? Yes, I do. I have a ring for every level. Mary's ring, I make it for every level. So in case you're wondering what the stats are on it. It's sheltering, spell resist, and insightful spell saves. And then I look for rings with 2 slots. So if you guys have ever played with me on Hardcore League and I'm looking for a ring with 2 slots, it's because that's what I'm trying to make. I mean, I also craft a belt for myself. But the belt isn't as important as the ring. Like, the belt is nice, but because I play a drow and stack spell resist, I try to get it as high as I can. It's not perfect though, and then sheltering is nice because it, it adds to your. We got 1 point, and we are going to further boost our sense weakness mantle. So let's see what our bonus is now. %23%. So we're almost at 25% bonus to helpless damage. That's really good. We will end up getting more sneak attack dice. Yeah, even though I have a 44 Sunder, I never seem to hit this. I think it's because they made it a DC 10. If you ask me, because that is a capstone, that should be DC 20 plus your mod plus Sunder. Because DC 10 says to me that that's like a level 10 ability. But that's a capstone. And what I'm talking about is this. Right? This is the capstone for Dragon Lord. So, I mean, I don't think it's that far off. Like, I don't think that's a bad take to say that that DC should be 20. I mean, you cannot get this skill until you're level 20. It is the capstone. And if you look at other capstones, the other capstones are really strong. So, I mean, I think this is great. It's just they need to boost that DC because I can never get it to hit. Like, it's just super hard. And my Sunder bonuses are 44, which I didn't realize it was that much higher than my trip or my stun. So, something to think about. Maybe if they do a balance pass on this, which they probably will. They did the same thing for Inquisitive when they released Inquisitive. They actually did a few different balance passes. They did the same thing for Vistani. They'll likely bring this back down to earth, but for now we get to basically run around and erase everything because of the massive amounts of damage that we're doing. Oh, and I put myself, because I'm Black Dragon, I got the armor from out here, and this is a cosmetic Black Dragon armor. Cosmetic. I mean, it's old school, but it's a good cosmetic. Since I'm a Black Dragon Lord, whatever. Acid damage. And then my glamour for the sword is the ice pick from the Rizia game or whatever it was. That event that they had this Christmas. I forget, is that what it's called? Or the ice game's the old event that they don't do anymore. Whatever. Oh, no. I'm thinking Snow Peaks. The Rizzy is the old thing that they don't do anymore. Snow Peaks is the new one. Yeah, so the Snow Peaks, you could earn like a low-level ice short sword. That's what that is a glamour of. Still have 13 minutes of my buffs. So is anybody else excited about Amazon's Fallout TV show? I'm like super excited about it. I can't wait to see it. I'm such a fan. Island RE, or is it Islander? Or just Island? Hello. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I went the wrong way. We don't need to be here. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody else saw the trailer. That's something else that I wanted to watch and react on stream, is the Fallout trailer. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that show. I'm like such a huge fan of the Fallout franchise. The first Fallout game, Brian Fargo's game, I played that game when it came out, like when it was new, the original isometric, and I thought it was like one of the greatest video games that I had ever played. Like the writing was really smart, and the way that they had the special system where, you know, if you made a really strong character, the world like reacted to you. If you made a really smart character, the world reacted to you. Like I just thought it was so cool. And then all the different layers of the story that were present in the original Fallout, and all of the humor, like just how goofy it was, and so I just became an instant fan. And then the second one was really good and even funnier, and I had high hopes when Bethesda took it over, but Bethesda really never understood like the whole point of the Fallout universe is to make people laugh. They just basically turned it into a shooter. And while I think it is okay as a shooter, from my perspective, they're missing a lot of the original, like, comedy that made it so endearing. They did a pretty good job with the period, like making it so that it felt like it was, you know, a divergent 1950s atomic history, but just never really got any of that Fallout humor that Brian Fargo's game had. But anyway, I still was a huge fan, and I played Fallout 3. And then I played Fallout 4 and thought they did a really good job. Again, it wasn't perfect, but it's still good. And so I'm super excited for the show on Amazon, even though I think that they really borked the Lord of the Rings with the Rings of Power. I'm hopeful that this Fallout TV show is going to be good. It looks really good. Yeah, thousands of hours. Dude, I have like at least 1,000 hours in Fallout 4. I mean, so you know in Fallout 4 where you like finally get yourself like the armor where you can walk through the radiation zone, and then you find that mutant's house living there. I forget his name. Like, dude, I loved Fallout. I love the universe. When I was a kid, like when I was a really young kid, some of my favorite Dungeons and Dragons modules were modules that I found that were from Gamma Worlds. If anybody's ever heard of Gamma Worlds, it's basically like Gary Gygax tried to make like a post-apocalyptic Dungeons and Dragons, and the sort of module that would meld Gamma World and Dungeons and Dragons together was the Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which is my favorite module. So, like, that was what I loved about Fallout, was that it reminded me of Gamma Gamma World. Even though it's different, it's not Gamma World. It reminded me of it. So I'm really excited for the TV show. I'm hoping that they did a good job with it. Even if I don't know what their story is, and Bethesda has said that whatever happens in the TV show is going to be canon. So whatever they do for Fallout 5 is going to honor that story that they do in this TV show. But if you know the story of the first game, it was really, really good. Basically, like, you've never left. You grew up in a vault. You've never been to the surface, and the computer that controls the water purification in the vault goes faulty, and they figure out that they only have a few months left to live before they'd have to all leave the vault. And because none of them have ever left the vault, they don't want that to happen because they know a lot of people would die. So basically they draw lots or whatever to pick somebody to go to a neighboring vault and basically ask them if they can borrow a water chip. And, you know, the overseer has the location of the other vaults on a map, and so they tell you the general direction. You're the one who's chosen to go. And so you leave with that as your mission. You're basically going to save all of your friends and family from the vault by finding a new water chip. Well, of course, when you leave and you go to the outside world, it's like nothing that they prepared you for. And also, you get to the vault and find out that it's been abandoned. And now you don't know what the hell to do because you've got to save your friends, but you're in a world you've never been outside before. So, I mean, it just was such a great premise. You go to this village and you meet a lot of people and you help them. You help them deal with, like, there's an animal that's killing their cows, their cattle, these mutated two-headed cattle in the middle of the night, and it turns out that it's actually not a creature that's killing the cows. It's just two drunks who are dressed up like an alien who are playing a prank. It's just so stupid, but... And they did a really good job introducing, like... It was one of the first games that I remember that had like a gore system. So... different weapons would do, like, these really crazy death effects. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, it's this solo cruelty here. No. Give me a heal. Somebody. Alright, we're not going to perish. There's a lot of healing built into this build automatically. So we got lucky with the hot. But it was close. In Fallout 3, I remember, like, one of the coolest parts was you go when you're in, like, the underground and you find that, like, that city of vampires that lived under there, and you can actually join them. And they're not real vampires. They're, like, people who use vampirism as sort of like a way of living. So they're kind of crazy. They're like the other village that the unexploded nuclear bomb that's in the middle of town. They worship it like it's basically like it's a shrine. They pray to it and stuff. It's pretty wild. And it looks like in the TV show they made like one of the protagonists a ghoul, which is really cool. Like the way they did ghouls in at least the first and the second game. Like you could always find like ghoul cities at like abandoned nuclear power plants because they would live around the decaying nukes, basically, right? Like, if there was an exposed uranium core, they'd be all over it. In, what was it, Fallout 4, wasn't there a hotel of run by ghouls or something? I mean, it's been a while since I played that. I tried playing Fallout 76, and I was really disappointed in it. Like, I wasn't happy with it, so I didn't ever actually sub to it, but I did play it enough to get out of the newbie area and then get sniped by somebody who was just waiting to snipe newbies. These champs hit so hard. I'm gonna have to use that shrine. God, that dude was so excited about being a wizard. Alright, Flameborn Cleric, do not flame strike me. Okay, so I think I'm good to go. Yeah. I'm gonna shrine. Okay, I got rid of the fatigue. Alright, so we're shrining. Yeah, the door's open. Okay. Yeah, Fallout 4, I ran a mod that, Hotel Rexford in Good Harbor, maybe. I ran a mod, I think it was called, like, True Nukes or Real Nukes or something like that. And it's basically, like, you couldn't use a nuke, like, you know how they had those mini nuke launchers? You couldn't use one because it actually made a nuclear detonation, like, engulf the entire map. So you could use it if you could, like, seek cover, like, by going into a door and closing it. So you could, like, shoot one of those things up in the air and then run in and close the door, and then you would survive. Otherwise, it would obliterate everything. Like, it was a great mod. I think that was Fallout 3, actually, not Fallout 4. I like the story from Fallout 4, though. The Institute and all that stuff, really cool. So I'm excited about the TV show. I see a Reaper. Alright, let's go. I tried to pull that lever, but I couldn't do it. So we'll pull this one.
The first
there we go.
Sound. Patrick the maniacal curses loudly while ground shakes beneath his feet.
let's get rid of those. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh god, this wizard needs to die. Thank you. Of course he dotted me with something that's going to interrupt me. Yeah, why not? Gotta kill this, this dude here before he, you know... Okay. Yeah, I didn't want him to earth grab me. He was a champion. I think it's just this one now, right?
A large sonic
Yeah,
blast
it's just this
resonates toward
Alright,
the
so
ground.
let's go.
Patrick the Maniacal. He loses his footing as the floor begins to fall
Alright,
away.
haste. Here we go. War. Roar again.
The aural leader's
great.
death surely hamper the efforts of the Storm's Eye.
And I didn't even have to use the second wind. And we are ignoring that archer who's so excited about archery that he can't stop shooting me for 1 second. Bro, you're... Oh. Maybe he was emboldened by the Famine Reaper. Oh, there's more than one. Can I do it? I have displacement. You mean to tell me that I can't get through this door? Alright, there we go. Alright, we made it. Hotel Rexford. Yeah, man, I forgot that name. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I played. Oh, we're getting another raid. Nimvin's raiding with a party of 4. I appreciate that. Nimvind and raid. Thank you for the raid, guys, if you're here now. I'm not sure if they are here yet. I think so. I hope they had a good night. I think Nimvin was playing Pow World, which is a great game. If you haven't played Pow World, it's worth checking out. It's cheap on Steam, and it's fun. I was playing a few games on streaming on Twitch, Pal World, but I have not because I don't know what the hell to do next. Like, my exploration of the map has failed, so rather than like wandering around not knowing what I'm doing, I just play it off stream now. But I do have a couple of games that I'm going to play just to try the new system. Like I said, I want to try Genshin Impact on stream just because it's a really, like, resource-intensive game. It's a beautiful game, by the way. I wouldn't recommend it, though. No, not that it's not a good game. It is. It's a really good single-player RPG. It's based on Breath of the Wild, kinda like the gameplay is like Breath of the Wild, Zelda, but it's a gacha game, so they want money constantly. So I wouldn't recommend it, but it's still a beautiful game. So If you can resist the gacha,
The
then I
stressed
think it's
female
worth
voice
playing.
faintly calls from deep within, her words lost in the cavernous depths.
I mean, you could make an argument that DDO is a gacha. So, Rain Man, thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, DDO and Lord of the Rings Online, I don't think are qualified as like traditional gachas, but I think the only reason why they wouldn't be is because you can't play them on a phone. I think if they made it so that you could play it on a phone, and they probably could, right? Like, I mean, DDO is 18 years old. I guarantee that they could, if they could adapt it to the operating system, you could probably play it on a phone. Then I think they could qualify it as a gacha because of the way that everything is monetized and how you can pay to win. You know? I mean, that's one of the things that about this game that a lot of people don't like is that it's, you know, very pay to win, but you don't have to. That's the point. Like, you can just play. You don't have to pay for anything, but you know, you can save a lot of time by paying for stuff, but you know, there are lots of players who don't ever sub and they never pay for a thing. Right? And then there are players who, you know, they pay real money to save time. Gotcha. If you were to Google the term, it's like it's a phrase like that they, it's sort of like a negative thing to say, but it's actually like a category for video games that like monetize everything.
Cries for help
So
closer.
they get your money.
And
Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, like those are two examples of recent gacha games. If any of you guys follow any of the OTK people like Osmongold or Tectone, a good example of what I'm talking about with the gacha is Tectone supposedly spent like a couple $100,000 on Honkai Star Rail. I don't know why you would do that, but supposedly he did. Because you're basically opening loot boxes, trying to get better characters and better weapons. You know, so like the gacha mechanics that we have, it's like the chest re-rolling that we can do. That's kind of like a gacha mechanic. So even though DDO's not like a real gacha, if you guys have ever played Star Wars The Old Republic and opened a loot box that you bought, that's sort of like a gacha mechanic, like where they basically have you like gambling. You're basically rolling die to see if you can get a good item, a rare item. I mean, I don't really like it, but I do play Genshin Impact a little bit. I haven't spent any money on it, but it's such a beautiful game. You know, it's like really, really beautiful. And the game that it's based on, like I said, the engine underneath works like Zelda Breath of the Wild. So that game won Game of the Year. I think it was in like 2018 or 2019 or something like that. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous game and really fun, like a really good interface for a RPG. So there's elements of it that are really cool. So if you ever, like, another great example of just the type of game it is, they have such a huge budget that they put a lot of money into their orchestra, and they get like really famous people to do the music. So like I've actually watched on YouTube like Genshin Impact concert music. It's like listening to anything from like a John Williams movie. It's like really, really well done. So I thought about doing like video about it for my YouTube channel, or like talking about it with like doing a react to some of the trailers that they've had for that, but I haven't done that yet here because a lot of the people who follow me follow for DDO, and if I start talking about, or showing, I should say, is more accurate, like other games, a lot of people just leave, so just talking about it right now just as something to talk about while we do this quest, right? But I highly recommend checking that stuff out. And I'm also going to, you know, like check out the Fallout TV show on Amazon. I can't wait for Rings of Power, the second season. I'm hoping that they fix a lot of the bullshit that they did wrong in the first season, in the second season, and actually like write it a little bit more to Tolkien's canon. You know, like I may be hoping for a little bit too much, but I wasn't a fan of all the retconning that they did with Tolkien's world. You know, being a being a person who's read The Lord of the Rings myself probably 100 times. I don't know, maybe more. Like I read it multiple times a year. I'm just constantly reading it because I really like it. And, you know, I was a beta tester for Turbine's Lord of the Rings Online. Like, I still have an account over there. I actually have streamed that. I just picked up the new expansion, so I can make a Corsair. I haven't done it yet, though. The last time I streamed Lord of the Rings Online, I think I had, like, 2 people watching it. Like, not a lot of people play Lord of the Rings Online anymore. And I think if they do watch it, they're going to go watch somebody that has been streaming that game for a while. But, you know, I've been playing it since it launched. It's just, you know, I don't really feel like playing it anymore. I keep it current just because I like to support SSG, but they're like level 150 or something now, and that is just so overwhelming to me to even think about. Like, it's the same reason why I wouldn't go back and start classic WoW now, because I don't know what level they're on. Like, I would just be so overwhelmed to even try to catch up. So I mean, I thought about doing like hardcore WoW just because everybody's starting from 0, but it's just a lot of time, and Blizzard is sort of shit now, so I just decided not to waste the time. I don't know if you guys keep up. We might as well like talk about all this sort of video game stuff while we're in here, because everybody's probably done this quest like 80 million times. And you know what the story is, right? So I can talk about other stuff. But so Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming out at the end of the month, and that is an ARPG that looks really good. It's on Steam now. I think you can pre-order it. I'm probably going to pick it up and play it. I might stream it, depending on, you know, whether or not like I can play it without acting like an idiot. Like I just have to see how it plays, or if I like it enough to want to like play it on stream. I did get Last Epoch, and I have been playing Last Epoch. I just haven't been streaming it because I don't really know what I'm doing in it. Like, coming up with a build in Last Epoch without looking at like a lot of guides is sort of really a lot of trial and error. So I've been playing a Necromancer, and it's really strong, but I'm sure I could be doing things better. So it's very similar to Diablo 4. I have Diablo 4, but Diablo 4 I wouldn't bother streaming now because nobody's playing it. Or at least the people who are playing it are not playing it online. They're just, you know, logging in for a little while, playing it, and logging off. Like, it's too bad, too, because I paid quite a bit of money for my Diablo 4 game, and I probably won't ever use the season pass that I got. But I have it, so if they ever make Diablo 4 to where it's like really cool to play, I'll probably log in and play it. I did enjoy. So the problem, I don't know if you guys tried Diablo 4, but I'll tell you what problem I had with it. I enjoyed it, but I wanted to play a sorcerer. So the sorcerers are really good at killing bosses, but they were terrible to kill the trash that attacks you in the dungeons. And so I just kept dying to trash before I could get to the boss. But if I made it to the boss, I would obliterate the boss. So then I'm like, all right, so I made a necromancer, and the necromancer was super strong on trash. Like, I could obliterate everything. But the problem is I got to the boss, and it would take me an hour to kill the boss with the necromancer. The necromancer is just so slow to kill, so it was just so ridiculous. So I'm like, you know, if I were running with a group, but just to log in myself on a necromancer, it was just stupid. I just was not having fun. It was just a slog. And so 50 minutes into a boss fight, he's almost dead, and then I make a mistake and I die, and they don't let you pick up where you left off. Like, I have to restart that 50-minute fight from the start. So I just basically uninstalled the game. I respect my time too much. Blizzard doesn't respect my time. So I'm not going to, you know, if they make the game better. The other thing too is just the way that they had the UI set up, you know, where they didn't have like a fail-safe button on the season pass. Like, you could accidentally sub to the season without wanting to, and they didn't have any storage. It's just a lot of mistakes that they made with Diablo. So Last Epoch did a lot of that stuff better. But so far, my necromancer has been able to obliterate just about everything. But it's a different game. You know, it plays very similar to Diablo, but it's still a different game. So I think for some reason, if like the necromancer didn't work out, I would make a paladin. My necromancer, I made a warlock. I'm dotted. Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm a warlock in Last Epoch. And it's great because I throw down this like fire, this warlock fire. It looks like a wall of fire, and then the wall of fire has like this spirit energy that like crackles out of it, and it just attacks everything. So I just have to throw down this like wall of fire, and it does all the combat for me, and I just have to survive, and then I can get all these other like spirits to follow me around.
Cloud of smoke
It's pretty strong. It's just, I like RPGs way better than ARPGs. So. I guess it depends on how long you've been playing. I mean, you know, Astro Shard, the market, depending on the server that you're on. I don't know what server you're on, but like if it's a big server, like Hardcore is a good server. Arganessen. What's the other big one? Orion probably have an active shard market. I think Sarlona's shard market obviously is pretty active. The plat markets usually are dead no matter what server you're on, unless you're on hardcore, just because platinum really doesn't mean anything. But, you know, like, I've seen a lot of things come and go because I've been playing for so long, so... like, a lot, you know, I was able to make a lot of shards over the years selling, like, Halloween event items every Halloween, but they kind of recently changed that. Like, they just basically made a bunch of them bound to account. So, you know, like, you could say... So there were a couple of years where you could save the you know, like the spectral dragon shard, the scales that you use to make the cloak and the helmet and things like that. And you used to be able to sell those. So, and if the dragon got shut down, which she did all the time, and nobody could get them, and you had scales to sell, you could set your price. You know what I mean? So it was pretty easy to make a lot of shards during that event. But in the last couple of years, they sort of changed. And the last Halloween event we had, they actually made those scales bound to account. And I'm probably thinking that they're going to do that with all of the mats going forward. They haven't done it yet with all the mats, but you can still make money selling like the candied apples and the almonds and all that stuff. But you know, depending on how much you want to grind, you have to compete with everybody else on the server who's doing that. But if you were to ask me, like, what's a great way to make Astral Shards, I would say plan on spending the first few days of the Halloween event grinding and selling those items for the first few days. And you may be able to capitalize on the fact that there are whales out there who don't want to do any work, so they will pay you whatever you ask for the materials initially. That doesn't last that long, though, because people flood the market really quick. The other thing, too, that you can do is anything like rare. You know, if like you get, you know how we all get like a weekly gold roll. If you were to get something like a rare gold roll, like one of the pets, like the scarecrow pet is probably the most sought after. You can always sell those for quite a bit. It depends on the server, you know, but you used to be able to, I mean, going back, you used to be able to sell like slotted items. Like way back, I used to sell those large guild slot items with large guild slots. Used to go for a lot. They got rid of those though a few years ago. But yeah, nowadays I don't know. And I mean, the other thing too is they just keep making everything bound to account, you know, like with the events. So it's harder and harder to actually like sell things on the shard market. But you still can. Like, there are a couple rare pets, although people have them now, right? But when Isle of Dread first launched, you could find, I think there were 2 rare dinosaur pets out there. Yeah. I mean, you're right on the money there, Rain Man. Like, you can always make money on the shard market selling collectibles. Absolutely. Yeah. People will buy collectibles. Anything to do with crafting. What market got blown out used to be able to make money selling essences, but now so many essences are out there that for 10,000 essences, I don't even know what that would go for. On Sarlona, I don't even know if you could get 50 shards for 10,000 essences. Like, they're so common now. I mean, maybe. I haven't tried. But certain rare mats, like I know what you could definitely make shards on are the dinosaur crafting mats. Now, are they still in demand now? I don't know. Probably because the dinosaur weapons are still, I think, the best. I mean, I don't think the Vecna weapons trump the dinosaur weapons. Like, in my opinion, anyway, I think the dinosaur weapon slotted with Ice Horn is like the best. So, yeah, right. You can use the essences, sure. So, I mean, you can loot all those dinosaur bones. I think there's only one, the black pearls that are bound to your account, but all the bones you can sell. And I would imagine that they'd all sell. Like, I haven't tried, but I would assume that that would be something that I would think about. So the question is, do I even try to do Madstone? Like, Madstone used to be easy to solo, and then they changed something with the aggro, the way the mobs aggro. So you used to be able to, like, tag the mobs and then run around and hide behind the rock, and they would stay aggroed on you the entire fight. Now they randomly change their aggro, so you have to constantly be tagging things. So it makes like the second giant really difficult because you can't really tag that caster up top and then run around down the bottom. You have to like run back up and re-tag that caster. Otherwise, he just nukes the giant, and the giant will just keep starting over and again, over again, over again. Oh, you know, like. So, like, I kind of want to do it, but because I would like to get this whole saga done, but I don't know if I actually can do it myself. Like, I think I need to do it with a buddy, and I don't see anybody running it right now. So I might just have to wait to see if somebody, like, I'll look for an LFM for somebody doing it and then jump in there with them. I used to solo it all the time, and now it's just such a waste. Like, it's so annoying now. All right, so what we're going to do that will help us is we are going to start working on our illusion DC. So there, now we can boost our illusion DCs since we're still color spraying. And like I said before, I'm not sure because I'm making this up as I go, whether or not we'll keep this once we're level 32. We may get to the point where we don't need that because we get it from Shadow Dancer. The only thing that we really would need is the sword. So we could put 3 points and then we could use the points somewhere else. But nothing really stands out aside from like defensives, and we could get dragons as a favorite enemy, and we could get another will saving throw, but I mean, I always could throw points in Ravager just to get a little bit more melee power. Right, that would get me more hit points, more heal amp. And then I would do Crushing Despair on Vorpal. But, I mean, would that be a game changer? Probably not. Yeah, the biggest thing that's going to make this build like really start doing damage in the stratosphere is once we get to this top tier at level 30. This will make it so that I can proc my my nightmare, that phantasmal killer proc, more often. And then this is one of the best epic moments. The best part of this is the non-boss enemies miss you in this state, so you get it for 20 seconds. They're PK'd with no save. So basically, if you're surrounded by mobs and you pop your epic moment, a lot of them will just get PK'd and die. It's really cool. A lot of these are very similar. Like, we get a lot of damage versus helpless over here. We get a lot of damage versus helpless over here. We get a lot of fortification bypass over here. We get a lot of it over here. So these trees are like really similar. And I thought about using this mantle, but this mantle is not as good as this one because this has a built-in heal. All this would do is give us like ghost touch and movement 30, which we already have. It would give us incorporeality, which would probably be really good because that would be 25% incorporeal, which is really high. And helpless damage, we could get helpless 15. We're getting helpless 15 right now. So it's really, do we trade the heal for the incorporeal? Really is. And right now we have 10% incorporeality. My understanding, I may be wrong, somebody may correct me, but every Reaper difficulty reduces these two by 5%. So in R1 you get 45 and 5, supposedly, right? I might be wrong. R2, this is 0, and this is 40%. R3, this is 35%, etc., etc. So incorporeality 25 would actually work because it would keep our incorporeality for R4 or less. But I mean, is it worth losing out on a heal? I don't think so. Not for a first life tune. If I had like fast healing from a past life, you know, maybe I would consider it, but I don't have, this tune has nothing. Like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I would be doing the anniversary party if they had given us an 18th anniversary reward, right? Did that strike anybody else as like Bizarro universe? The fact that it's the 18th anniversary and we have an anniversary event and we didn't get an 18th anniversary. Like, you can go and earn the 17th anniversary gift by doing this anniversary, and you can earn all the other gifts, but there's nothing new. And I said this on the forum. I'm like, I understand it's the Year of the Dragon. That's great. Let's have a party. I understand it's D&D's 50th anniversary. Thank God for Gary Gygax. We love him that he invented this game. We should celebrate. 50 years is phenomenal. And I'm really happy that they're giving us a reward every month for the Year of the Dragon. That's incredible. That's extremely ambitious by the DDO devs. And I love it. But that doesn't answer where is the 18th anniversary reward, because if you look at it as a separate event, right? 18 years that a video game has been alive deserves something. A cloak, a pet, a helmet, I don't know, a firework, something. It didn't even have to be anything really that fancy. It could have just been anything. I don't know. My opinion. I guess I am a crazy person. Because I've thought about it. Like, can't you just be happy they're giving you a reward every month? Yeah, but that's for the 50th. That's 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons in the Year of the Dragon. That's not the 18th anniversary. 18 years, man. That's a long time. This is an old game. If you had a cat that was 18, that cat would be an old timer. Right? I think WoW is just a little bit older than this game. Right? WoW came out in 2004. DDO came out in 2006. Oh, right. I could go do those. When does Dalera start? Is Dalera at 27? Dalera is at 27. Do we try Dalera? I bet we'll die. 25, under-leveled. We can give it a try anyway. So, House P. Oh, shit. You know what? Let me see. Maybe we'll try that. Yeah, okay. So, it's going to be the last thing that I do. Not going to end the stream immediately, but it's getting to the point where I'm building up my streaming muscles to try to stream long. The longest stream that I've ever done is like 6.5 hours. I plan to do like a 12-hour stream, but it's like you gotta work out and like get ready to do it because mentally you have to be there. But I think I actually get better as the stream goes on, so maybe if I do a 12-hour stream, it'll be the best. I don't know. Usually, you know, the first hour, it's like getting used to the idea of it, you know? So, trying to get the stuff done that you wanted to get done. No, get over here. Dalera's Tome. Okay, let's go. This could be the biggest waste of time, but we're gonna try it.
This Dalera module is narrated.
Alright, there's my death ward. There's my energy resist.
The underground structure is much bigger than the surface. There doesn't seem to be a nearby mechanism for lowering the bridge. The holy symbols of the sovereign host adorn the walls around you.
I'm going to hit this Carnage Reaper with a roar. Okay, Carney's dead. And we're gonna hit all this junk. Gonna roar at it all. Right now. And then cut it. Nice. Okay, champ is dead. Need my heal. Damage is awesome. We're doing really good damage. It's like unstoppable damage, but we're kind of squishy. I know about that. If you don't step on the thing, then they don't wake up, right? But I always forget, so I just step on it anyway. Yeah, the damage is really good. Gonna trigger all this junk. Alright, I just roared to slow some of these things down. Oh, God, I'm getting owned. Alright, I have to use a second wind because I was just taking way too much damage. What is hitting me? Like, is there a champ? I don't... No, it's just these skeletons have, like, bypass. I mean... Okay, so I only have 50 armor class, right? But I have almost 120 PRR, which is garbage, but it's not like I only have like 20 PRR. Like, I'm just taking so much damage. I'm in medium armor. Will the trap kill that skeleton, I wonder? We hope. Alright, so there's a mage that pops right here, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, we're gonna roar. And then get rid of that. Okay, and I've got to watch out for that stone guard. Yeah, okay. I had to use a second wind. Oh, I have to use... It's just too much burst. Yeah, these champs... Oh, look, he died. Oh, I dotted him. He died. So it was equal. But I wasn't able to open the door to the shrine, so, like, I can't jump through this crack to get to it. It's too bad. I'm a ghost, right? I should be able to go through this door. So we probably should wait and do that at level. I think it was overly ambitious. That content is hard. Yeah, it's difficult. It makes me feel like I probably will be in heavy armor. Depending on how good I can get my heals. If I can get my heals really good, then... you know, then I can do evasion. I mean, evasion really is just like making up for the fact that you have no PRR, so if single weapon fighting, if I'm in heavy armor, if I've just got like 150 PRR, I'm probably better off having evasion, I think. But you know, it's different if you can equip a shield, and but we'll see. I'm not sure where it's gonna wind up, like, once I hit legendary. I'm also not sure which Scion ability I'm going to use once I hit legendary. I think I'm going to use the one that gives me more double strike, just because, like, that would increase my DPS, but I'm going to have to take a look at it. Talk to some people and see what you guys are using as your melee Scion. You know, do you care about imbue dice, or do you just go for melee power? Like, what is it, Arborea, that gives you melee power?
Fisherfolk and sailors come to this thriving temple to offer their prayers to the
I
god
think
of
it's
the
the
sea.
Scion of the Astral Plane that gives you more double strike, and it gives you more dodge. And dodge isn't reduced by Reaper. At least right now it's not. I don't know if they changed it. So the more dodge you have, the better. So I get my dodge up, my double strike up. That would be good if I were in light armor. But we'll see. I mean, if I can wear, depending how good I can get everything with heavy armor. The other thing too is, can I keep color spray working? Like, these are level, like, legendary mobs, and on normal I can color spray them, right? So that's a good sign. So I just have to make sure that I get my DC to as close to 100 as I can get it, and then I
This
think
way
I'll
of
be able
ancient
to,
standing stones
you know,
commands a
use it.
fine view of the sea. Yet, for some reason,
Use it in R1. I don't know if it would work beyond R1 at 100, but it would, you know, be worth me getting. Mustang 50, how you doing? Hope you're having a good night. Tomorrow I'm gonna stream the same, but I might... See, what I want to do is get this Dragon Lord up to cap. And do some melee testing. Nice! Hey, thanks for the gifted subs. I appreciate that. Gifted subs are a great gift because they allow people to watch ad-free. It's really good. The other way you can do that is, what is that? Twitch, what is that they have now? You can become, is it Turbo or something like that? I forget what it's called. I should know, but I'm not going to remember it. Don't have... Yeah, Turbo. Yeah. It's good. It's good because I think you just pay like a sub to Twitch and then you can watch everyone ad-free, I think.
for a moment, you're taken
think that's
aback
what it
by
is.
the sprawling pit.
Which I'm not sure how it works for like
Vile thing has
content
spotted.
creators, how they monetize. Like, I don't know, but I'm sure Twitch thought about it because everything they do, they claim is for the content creators. So I don't know. I'm learning. I'm not a Twitch expert, but they seem to be good. Like, I made an account on Kick, but I have yet to stream there because it's kind of scary. I don't know if you guys have been over to Kick, but it's a lot of, there's a lot of gambling going on Kick. Twitch has a lot of hot tubbing. Kick has a lot of gambling. But we have some really good streamers here, I think. And the VTubers, dude. VTubers, some of them are really interesting. Although it's not my thing. And the whole thing fascinates me. The whole VTube community is fascinating to me. I knew nothing about it before I started streaming. Hey, I got an item. Okay, got a con helmet. I'm going to save that because right now I don't have anything. I'm going to need an artifact. I'm hoping I want to find like the Ring of the Kraken because I'm charisma based. But we'll see. Maybe I can pull one when I do Sharn. Like I'll do the cogs. See if I can get one of those. I think there's a necklace that's charisma based from the cogs. But finding this ring, this is why I came out here, would be really good because then that would be one thing less that I'd have to worry about. And it would help us, even though technically the Ring of the Kraken is a caster ring, it's charisma, and it would give us bonus DCs towards our color spray. And like I said, I want to use my color spray. Now, if for some reason I can't get the DC where it's useful, then I'll drop it. You know, but I'm going to try because I've used it since, you know, level 1, like, or, well, not level 1, but level 6 when I first got it. Like, I've been in the Fadar tree since level 1, so. So, I mean, I would love to have it as a CC in Epics because it's really good. And since I'm doing extra damage to, like, helpless targets, and color spray makes things helpless, I think it'd be great. And I'm just doing a shit ton of damage, so. So what I'm going to also decide is, do I want to do these Dragon Lord past lives? And if I do, then I'm going to do them on my main.
At least you hope it's dirty.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, Mustang 50. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thanks for the gifted subs. Have a good night. I love the dragonflight. I just wish it had little wings. See if we can erase this dude. Yep. Oh, you guys, yeah. I appreciate it. I think, well, I can add that. I think the board counts like bits or whatever, but I think I can add gifted subs. I think if you look under my about, I think it. Yeah, I just have to set up that part of the page and have it count that. I'm learning about all that stuff. Nice, there you go. I appreciate those. Those are bits, right? I'm learning all the lingo for all the different things and the sound effects that they make. I did Streamlabs. Well, originally I did Stream Elements, but because I'm new to this, it was like there were just things I didn't understand to do. So Streamlabs has everything in one place, so that's why I switched over to that. But at some point in the far future, I'll probably switch back to Stream Elements just once I have learned all of this stuff. And I do plan to get like custom icons for all the different things that you guys are buying. Like you own like a sub. If you're like a founder, all that stuff will eventually be like custom. I just haven't done it yet. But I do have a plan to do it.